Hello everybody and welcome back to the Flourish Field YouTube channel. We continue our series on data structures and today we want to talk about tuples. What are tuples? Well, tuples are also data structures. They are used for handling data. But unlike lists, they are called immutable objects. That is, they can't change. Now, during the lesson, in the course of the lesson, we'll be seeing why we say tuples are immutable Python objects. But first, let's cover creating a tuple. Let's cover creating a tuple. How is a tuple created? You do that by it's similar to a list, but we do that differently by using the enclosing brackets differently. Remember, to create a list, you use square brackets, but for a tuple, still with my example on shop A, you go this. So let me save items in there. So to create a tuple, you use the rounded brackets instead of the square brackets. So we have eggs in there, we have jam, we have bread, and we have bacon this time around. So let's print it to the screen and we'll see. Print shop A to the screen and we'll see. Tuple lesson. And there we have it. There we have it. Note the rounded brackets when it gets printed to the screen. Note that as well. Okay, so when you have a list with rounded brackets, you should understand that it's a tuple. It's a tuple, and you can see there are similarities in the list and the tuple. You have the items stored in there, but you have rounded brackets at the end. You have the items being separated by commas as well. So note the similarities between lists and tuples. Now we were able to do a lot of things with lists. Let's see if we can do same with tuples. For instance, let's try appending to a tuple. Let's try appending to a tuple. So we go shop A, say we want to add butter dot append. Let's append butter in there. And then we go ahead and print. Actually, let's try printing as well. Let's try printing shop A. Let's see if it would work at all. It's hitting this part of our code and run. Now we tried to append, but it's throwing up an error. It says attribute error. Tuple object has no attribute append. So it means you cannot add an element or an item to a tuple, which go back to its name, saying it's immutable. When something is immutable, it means it can't change. It means it can't change. So let's try deleting. Let's try deleting an item from this list. Let's try deleting an item from this tuple rather. So we go there, then we go shop A. Say we want to delete. Let's delete what we have at position 1. Let's see what we have for position 1, and we go ahead and try printing shop A to the screen. Shop A. This part of my code becomes inactive, and this also becomes inactive as well. So let me run this and we'll see what comes. Now it also threw up a type error. So we have tuple object doesn't support item deletion. It means when you create a tuple, you can't delete an item out of it. But let's see, can we add a tuple together? Let's see the basic operations. Let's see if we can add. So I print to the screen shop A plus shop A. That part of my code is inactive. Then I print. Let me run this now and we'll see. Aha! But we see right now that we can actually add a excuse me, pardon me. We can actually add tuples together, as what we'll find here. You find eggs, jam, bread, bacon, eggs, jam, bread, bacon. So when you add a tuple to a tuple, you create a new tuple and you can actually save that in a variable. Alright, okay, so let's try multiplying a tuple. Let's use this line of the code. Shop A times 2. Let's try running that. Or rather times 3. Let's try times 3 this time around. So let's try running that. Aha! So in this we have in the first tuple we have eggs, double value for the items, but in the second one we have triple values. We have eggs appearing 3 times, jam 3 times, bread 3 times, bacon 3 times as well. So that means we can do basic operations with our tuples. But let's find out if we can actually divide or subtract. So I just print to the screen, shop A, and I like to divide it by 2. This part of my code needs to become inactive so they don't disturb what we need to do. So let me run that. Yeah, so it throws up a type error, much like it did with list. We can't divide tuple by an integer. We can't divide the tuple by an integer. So let's try. Lastly, let's try to subtract a tuple. So we go shop A, take away shop A. And there you have it. It is unsupported. There's a type error, much like with list as well. You can subtract a tuple and a tuple. So tuples are quite useful if you want to create a list that you don't want to change. So they are very important data structures as well in Python. So there we have it. We've tried appending to it, didn't work. We've tried deleting items in it, tuple, didn't work as well. But we found the things that work, the similar things that work as in list. You can add a tuple, you can multiply a tuple, but you cannot divide or subtract them. So that is what we have for you on this new data structure called tuples. If you have any comments or concerns, please drop them in the comment box below. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Bye.